So here goes day 2 of Mindful May. Welcome back if you're joining me on this. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below. If you're joining, drop a little butterfly or something, because that's what we're going to be working on today. And also, I really appreciate if you're enjoying these to hit the like, and if you don't want to miss any of the videos, please hit that subscribe. So we're going to crack on with the butterfly today. So if you was with me yesterday, we got all of our hoops set up, got the design all transferred onto the calico. And today, for day 2, we're going to start with a simple satin stitch on our butterfly. I've got my needle threaded from yesterday with the black thread. I'm just going to begin by putting a little knot in at the end of it. So I'm going to start my satin stitch by putting my needle underneath and then pulling it through. I've just gone in on the line that we made yesterday, and then I'm just going to go up to the middle point of the butterfly body and pull that through, just pulling it down. So when you're doing satin stitch, you want to pull it so that the stitch is nice and taut, but you don't want it to pull it too much because it's going to pull your fabric. So just pull it in so it just lays there nice and flat but doesn't pull the fabric. That's the key. I'm just going to do a slightly smaller one, satin stitch on the outside. And with the satin stitch, you just pull it through and put back up, and then just keeping them really close together. They're not overlapping at all, but they are sitting nice and flat next to each other, filling the space up. And don't worry, I mean, that one at the bottom is not sitting quite as close as I'd like. There's a bit of a gap, so I'm just going to unthread that, poke your needle through. It makes it easier to find out which thread it was, and it was that one. And then I'm just going to rethread my needle. And then just position it a bit closer this time. But as we said before, it's not about being perfect, it's just about making some time. There we go, I'm much more happy with that. And then I'm just going to move to the upper body, and I'm going to continue with these satin stitches just for the 3 parts. So I've got the bottom part, the middle part and the head. And there you go. When you're happy with that, hopefully you can see, that's all finished. I'm just going to turn it over, and then I'm just going to push my needle through the back of the thread, pull it to a bit of a loop, put my needle through, loop it off, and then just trim it. And if you want to trim the tail of that off a bit to keep things all nice and neat, you can. Then I'm going to pop my black thread off to one side with the other piece that we've got. I'm going to leave the tentacle parts out at the moment because I think we'll do those tomorrow in back stitch. So for now, I'm going to thread some white and I'm just going to do the outside of the wings. Cutting my white thread, splitting it into the 3. I find that the 3 is a nice amount because if you do 2 when you're putting them together, when you're doing satin stitch anyway, you have to put them really closely together. And you're going to need to do more stitches, and I find if you use the full thickness of the cotton, it can look a bit messy. Threading my needle again with the white, knot at the end. This time I'm going to start at the top. So with this one where I'm starting it, I'm just placing it on the top part of the line, pulling it through. And I'm going across this time, whereas before I went upwards. Now we've come to the end of this here, I'm just going to turn this over, knot that off like we did before with the black. And just trim it off. When I'm knotting it off, I'm not pulling it too tight. I'm pulling it tight enough so that it secures the knot, but not so that it pulls the tension. on our stitches. Got my needle all threaded back up again because there's still some cotton there and we can use that on the other side. But as I'm at the end of my half an hour for today, I'm just going to pop my needle back on my needle minder and leave it there for today. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. If you are, don't forget, drop a little butterfly down in the comments below, and hit that like and subscribe. So tomorrow in day 3, what I might actually do is, before I start filming, I'm going to finish off this side in the white. So tomorrow I'll show you straight stitch and we will use that to add some more detail onto our butterfly. See you tomorrow.